What's up, guys? Collin Coates from Built2Wander. I'm up in Holly, Michigan at America's Most Wanted 4x4 with Matt Thompson. Matt's actually a dealer for AMW. He does their HEMI conversion kits on Jeep Wranglers and Gladiators down at his shop at 3D Off-Road in Colorado Springs. And today we came all the way out to Michigan to pick up a JL chassis and HEMI conversion from these guys. While we're here, I thought it'd be really cool to introduce you to AMW 4x4, take a tour through their shop and show you all of the really cool conversions that they do with Jeeps. But we're also here to pick up a very special component for our international Scout build. I'm sure you're wondering what that is. So before we dive in, do me a quick favor, like this video, subscribe to the Driving Line channel, and let's get after it. I haven't even walked through the doors, but outside of the building is just lined with Jeeps that either have HEMI V8 conversions already or are here to get one. Matt's actually loading up that chassis and HEMI conversion on his truck and trailer right now. So we're gonna get that loaded up and then we're gonna go inside, show you guys the shop, tour you through it, and then talk about our plans for our Scout build.
What's up, guys? Matt Thompson from 3D Off-Road. Like Collin said, we're out here at AMW 4x4. We're picking up a chassis and an engine conversion for us, and so you know, we're excited to get this done for them, and I want to show you guys around the shop.
Cool. All right, so starting here, they've got a Gladiator torn down. So what's that about?
So they're tearing this down. You know, they build these up for Jeep dealerships, and what they'll do is they'll tear this all down. They'll get it ready for the, you know, for the conversion, for the chassis that they build, and you know, it'll go through their whole turnkey process that they have up here.
Yep. So at AMW, they do turnkey builds.
Yes.
Like this, which will be a turnkey, and then they also have a full motor conversion or engine conversion
station.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can buy motors and trannies and the wiring harness, and we'll show you what that looks like. So anyways, as Matt said, the builds come in here and they start getting torn apart for a turnkey conversion. There's a bed from that Gladiator.
Yeah.
Getting torn down. Getting stripped, getting bobbed.
Getting bobbed.
Yeah, so they'll take about 10 inches out of the bed.
She's the best at bobbing, by the way.
Are you the best at bobbing?
She is.
Perfect.
She is.
So she's hammering away. But yeah, so they've got whole parts department here, all kinds of odds and ends that you would need. And then we mentioned the engine conversions. So that's what this area is here.
This is where they assemble all the motors, you know, get everything all put together with the front end conversion part on it, wiring harnesses, put the trannies together, torque everything down so that it's all ready to go when we get our kits.
So when you receive a kit from AMW, what do you have to do from that point? I mean, it's pretty much turnkey, but what does that really mean?
So it means that you get all the parts. You get all the AC lines, the exhaust, everything, all the modules you need, everything to make it start and run and get the customer out quickly.
Good deal. So you
can take all the guesswork out.
Yeah.
You know, all the guesswork is gone.
So you can see like Hellcat here, 8-speed trans.
There's a Demon
there with an 8-speed trans. I mean, you can just see there's a ton of different conversions over here.
426s, 6.4s.
And this is where they basically assemble.
Yes.
They make the trans to the motor.
Yes.
Add the wiring harness,
yep,
and get it ready to be shipped out to places like 3D Off-Road.
Correct.
Cool. All right, so working our way back. Now you can see a lot more conversions. Hey, we might be picking one of those up.
We just might be.
More on that later. But you can see parts are stacked, so some factory fenders off of Jeeps. You got bodies sitting over here and chassis over here. So these are all for turnkey builds, correct, Matt?
Correct, yeah, this is all their turnkey build stuff. You know, they're trying to get it down to where they have a production line of this stuff going. To my knowledge, I think they're trying to move, so that'll be great.
Growing, I hear they're growing.
Growing, yeah.
So, you know, this is pretty rad. You can see here, they've got a whole chassis that's being built. This one actually looks like it's pretty close. Axles, suspension, motor, transmission, transfer case. The exhaust is run, fuel lines. This one looks really close, actually.
It's pretty neat how far they do this and how well they're getting their systems dialed in to make it just be a turnkey scenario.
Right.
Even for us as installers, you know, all over the country, it's like, it's making it very nice.
So here's another chassis we can talk about. So this looks like a Gladiator chassis. It likely belongs to one of these Gladiators on the end there. Those are both Gladiator bodies. And what's cool about this chassis is it's on a set of 40-inch Nitto trail grapplers. Got some Fox coilovers on it, Terraflex long arm. This looks like a Hellcat. So that's their 707 horsepower swap. It's a lot of power. Do a good job turning those 40s.
Makes it fun.
So the cool thing about the turnkey builds is they come with basically a lot of different components that are all spec'd by AMW 4x4, including this 8-lug conversion. Big brakes. They've got their own wheels with KMC. You can see in here, got their logo in there real nice. They do a really good job with the details.
Yeah, they do the detail stuff. I mean, even the sway bars have their, you know, on the arms there.
So as the chassis are being assembled, the bodies are waiting to be mounted back to the chassis. There's quite a bit of detail work that goes inside the bodies as well. They do, you know, interior, they do seats, steering
gauge
wheels,
clusters,
gauge clusters. There's a ton of
shifter
headlights.
knobs.
Actually, here's a good example right here is a turnkey build, Hellcat conversion. So check this out. If you look inside the headlights, you can see the Hellcat logo. You know, we showed you some of the branding throughout the chassis. And then you look inside here. So you can see the AMW logo there on the gauges. And then like Matt said, the seats. I mean, they've got 707 insignia in the seats, the America's Most Wanted 4x4 logo up here. It just feels like a true factory build. And that's what America's Most Wanted excels at, really making these conversions feel factory. You hop in this thing, it looks like it came right off the showroom floor. And this is a two-door with 700 horsepower. This thing probably hauls. So again, they do
definitely make a giggle and a smile.
Oh yeah. So as these bodies wait, the chassis are over here. Once they're mated together, they come over here, and this is really where all of the final assembly takes place. So they've got a couple builds in here now. This is really the turnkey area. Here's one of them. 1,000 horsepower, so that's the Elephant?
Elephant, yeah.
So this is a pretty sick build, 42-inch Nitto trail grapplers. One thing I really like about the turnkey builds from AMW is oftentimes, most of the time, they come on a set of Nittos, and usually I see the trail grappler under them.
Yes.
So
it's one of their favorite tires for sure.
One of their favorite tires, one of our favorite tires. But yeah, this is, you know, custom paint, absolutely beautiful. 426 supercharged Elephant. That is a big beast. So yeah, walking through here, like these first 1, 2, 3 bays, these are generally reserved for their turnkey builds. You can see one of them here in front of me. And then they do some training, so they bring dealers out here like Matt Thompson. You know, Matt, you were trained here, right?
I was, yes. I was trained here by Steve. You know, we had a great group, and you know, we did a Hellcat conversion, and you know, that was an awesome experience all on its own. You know, to be here all week, to be shown that it can be done in a week, as you know, parts being there and that kind of stuff. It's just awesome.
So basically they bring in a stock vehicle, pull the chassis off of it, tear it down, drop the new motor in it, and build it up all within a week. All within a week. And so that's what you do for customers back in
Colorado.
Shop.
Yes, as long as you have all the parts, you know, and then you know today's scenarios, it's just sometimes parts are very difficult to get, but man, once you have all the parts, it is literally plug and play, and you can have this done in a week.
Yeah, that's pretty rad. So again, I mean, just looking around this place, it is as professional as it gets.
Yeah.
You know, there's chassis everywhere, there's bodies everywhere. I mean, it's a Jeepers dream. Every one of these builds is incredible. I showed you outside, it's just lined with more vehicles, you know, all the way up and down the street. But yeah, they've got JKs in here, they've got JLs and Gladiators, even have a TJ back here that I'm sure they're working on a motor swap for. Here's another JK here. It just goes on and on, but I'm telling you what, this place is just next level, and I'm just super excited to start working with them on the Scout.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be an exciting experience, and can't wait for you guys to see what we got coming.
What are we doing?
So we are up here at AMW 4x4, and we are picking up this Hellcat motor for the Scout build that we are building for Built2Wander.
Ooh. All right, so yeah, we came up here to get a chassis, a Hellcat conversion for another build, but we're actually getting 2 Hellcat conversions, and this thing is going into our 1975 International Scout build. Matt, talk to me about this motor. Tell me why you urged me to do the Hellcat and why we're at America's Most Wanted picking the dang thing up.
All right, guys, so it's a 6.2 liter supercharged motor. You know, they have 3 different levels, the Hellcat being the lowest one. The next one is the Demon, and the next one is the Elephant. And guys, honestly, like for this Scout, this Hellcat motor is gonna be plenty of motor for that thing. It is going to be a little rocket ship, and I am so pumped to have an 8-speed behind it, so we can really just drive it to shows and get this thing out and show what it can do.
Right. So I feel like whenever you see people doing the V8 conversions in the Scout, it's the LS platform, and so this will be super unique that way. 700 horsepower.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty phenomenal on that thing, and as light as it's gonna be, for the suspension that we have in tune for that thing is gonna be super epic.
So why did we have to get this before we start the build, right? I mean, we showed you guys the build a few months ago. Now we want to get started on it, but we couldn't without this piece. So why is it so important that we start with the motor?
So, you know, it's super important to have this here in the vehicle, so that way we can know where the axles are gonna be placed, you know, make sure we have the correct offset, you know, when we're having the axles built, and that way everything is lined up and we don't have vibrations, you know, especially with this much horsepower. We want to make sure that everything is lined up perfect.
Yep, so we really had to start with this. We're gonna get back to 3D Off-Road, tear apart the factory drivetrain, get all that old stuff out of there, and then start mocking this up. And like Matt said, next will be axles and then suspension. All right, guys, productive trip for us up here to America's Most Wanted 4x4 in Holly, Michigan. We've got Matt's truck loaded behind us with the JL chassis, the Hellcat conversion for that Jeep, and also our Hellcat conversion for the Scout build that we're working on. Matt, what do you think?
Guys, I am so pumped to have AMW on board, and I am so excited to get started on this project and show you guys what this thing's gonna be about.
Yes, I can't wait to get started. Guys, drop me a comment below. Let me know what you think of our choice to go with a Hellcat for the Scout. And if you'd like to see certain things along the way as we make progress building out that chassis. And as always, hit the like button if you did and subscribe if you haven't. Until next time, wander on.
Thanks for watching Driving Line. If you guys like this video, consider subscribing to our channel so you'll never miss any of the content we create here. Whether you're into trucks, Jeeps, imports, domestic vehicles, or anything in between, we are here to fuel your passion. So hit that subscribe button and we'll see you guys next time.